I mean, obviously you had a great high school career. You're able to get a full scholarship to Ohio State. But before you went to Ohio State, you had one more stop before you got there.
Yeah. I had to go to prep school, Fork Union.
Yeah.
And I still give Coach Ginn shit about this because no one told me.
It was Ginn's idea for you to do this?
It was Coach Trussell and that staff idea. Right. So, but no one told me prep school was military school.
They left that part out.
Yeah, they left that part out. And then I got freaking we come up with this plan. We come up with this freaking plan, and I want to say late January of my senior year, last semester in high school, right before signing day.
Yeah.
Because, I think in November, we started to talk about it if I was to commit to Ohio State because Braxton was going to school early. Me and Braxton Miller was in the same class. Mm-hmm. So you know how Coach Trussell was. I wasn't lucky enough to be coached by him, but the relationship I built with him through the recruiting process and still to this day, he was all about the Ohio guys.
Oh, yeah.
All about the Ohio guys.
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, he wanted I'm talking about not just the top Ohio guys. If you had an opportunity to play at the next level, I don't care how many stars behind your name. He wanted you at Ohio State.
Exactly.
And he tried to find a way to make sure you were there. And even though I was a highly recruited quarterback, he wanted to make sure I stayed in the state of Ohio, right? And growing up, going through the recruiting process, it becomes less of Ohio State's my favorite school versus, okay, let me see what this place had to offer for me. Mm-hmm. And I was lucky enough that it was my favorite school growing up, and it had everything I looked for in a college university, right, on and off the field. And so Coach Trussell knew Ohio State was extremely high up on my list. And, Braxton was in my class. We played them my junior year, smoked them.
Shout out Braxton.
Smoked them. Smokehouse. They jump out 14-0, beat them 58 to 20.
Damn.
We destroyed them. Yeah, we destroyed these guys. But can't deny him. Right?
Yeah, right.
Great team and stuff like that. But so Braxton went into college early, and Trussell knew if I was going to come in, clearly same class. Braxton already going to have a semester of jump on me because he's there that spring ball semester and things like that. So he's like, what if we sent them to prep school? And he wouldn't lose a year of eligibility. We redshirted him the following year. It just separated him and Braxton by 2 years, even though they're the same year in high school. I'm like, okay, cool. First, I try to find every way to finish high school early to go to college, just like Braxton early, and compete at the same time. And it was too late in the process for us to do it. That was kind of foreign to Cleveland Public, and it still kind of is. Guys leaving early to go to college. Still, Cleveland Public is a little different.
I mean, not a lot of kids does that. I mean, now they do but back then,
having an opportunity though. With Cleveland Public is a little different, and I know a few private schools out in Florida they wouldn't allow kids to do it either because it messed up their graduation rate and things like that for whatever reason. But the kids still go back and graduate.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I think. Oh no, it messed up the scholarship money because their money for some schools are due before the semester start. So you got to pay it, and then if you was on scholarship, that money could have went to another student.
Got it.
So I know a lot of schools in Florida, as far as Heritage and a few other, they won't allow kids to do that. But anyways, so I'm okay, cool. Okay, that sounds good. It looks like that seems logical, I guess. When I couldn't go into spring ball early and I had to finish my semester of high school, my last semester, so I didn't report to prep school until early August. So I had that June and July summer, and I was just training and just hanging out with my friends. Well, actually I wasn't because all of my friends went to college. I had guys go to Akron. I had guys go to Team Up North. I had guys go to SC. All of them went to college. Everybody I grew up with, we was lucky enough. Darn near everybody I grew up with played ball, but they got scholarships somewhere. So I was just training and, getting ready for prep school. Packing all my bags for prep school, getting ready to go up. Me, my brother, my biological mom, my sister, we drive up to Virginia, Fork Union, Virginia, where actually Eddie George and Carlos Hyde went, and a couple other guys. But anyways, so I got my bags packed, and I'm like, okay, this is my first college experience. This is away from home. I'm about to live in a different state. This is going to be cool. Let's see what it's like. I get to
Make
campus.
your bed, motherfucker.
Yeah. I get to campus. We get to campus, and the first thing we have is orientation. And I still got my bags in the car and stuff like that. I'm looking around, and I'm like, what the fuck? These dudes got their fucking shirts tucked in their shorts. wrong with him? Like, you
Should
know
know
what I'm
right
saying?
there.
Right. I'm like, fucking lame. So go into orientation, and now like, you know, this is college living. You know, clearly I'm 17, 18 years old. I'm thinking about girls. I'm like, yeah,
No girls.
like, I'm about to be like, yeah, I'm about to have my own dorm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to find a girl
Get it
here. Yeah, it's just, you know, I seen Project X. You know, what I'm saying? Like a party like that.
Yeah.
Orientation. I can't tell you guys one thing I heard in orientation because the whole time I'm looking for girls, and it's all dudes. So,
And no one told you any of this.
yeah, I'm like, where the fuck are the girls? So the last thing in orientation is say, okay, now parents, you know, you can walk around with the cadets to get their uniforms. So after that, you guys got to leave. I'm like, what the fuck is a cadet? What the fuck you just say? So I'm like, I got my clothes, bro. Like, I got my stuff.
I got my bags in the car.
I'm like, I got my stuff. He's like, no, you go. They had it all labeled out different parts of the campus. You go there and get a trunk, and then you take that trunk and get your uniforms for Class A's or Class B's or Class C's. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Class A's and Class B's. So I'm like in the first line to get the trunk, and then the second line, I'm literally pretty much following people. And in the second line, it's this Asian family who's dropping off a kid. And it's, first of all, it's the most amount of money I've seen in my life. So, like, she had a Louis Vuitton bag. And I remember this vaguely. And I'm just thinking to myself, fake-ass bag. I'm like, fake-ass bag. So, she's speaking to the person in front of us about our schedule, our class schedule. Like, she's like, I don't want him to have no free time. I want him to be in everything, blah, 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 this, that, this, that, this, and that. I want him here for the whole year, not the half a year, blah, 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 blah. And, like, she pulls out the money and pays for his, like, it was like 37 grand a year there.
Shit.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And she pulls that shit out of her purse, and I'm just like, "Oh, this might be a real bag." But she said, "I'm like, what is she talking about? She wanted enough free time." And this kid was like maybe 10 years old because they had a middle school and a high school there too, and I was there for the prep.
Yeah.
So like in between college. So we getting these uniforms and shit. I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, where am I right now? Like, what's going on?" So whatever, I started to realize it was all guys, it was military style, and I'm just like, as they walk me to my barrack, not a dorm, and I'm just looking like this, take me with you, don't leave.
Yeah. I'm going to climb in
I'm
that
thinking to
Louis
myself
bag.
like, I gotta do this to go to Ohio State?
Yeah.
Man, fuck Ohio State. That's what I'm thinking in my head, like, fuck this.
Yeah.
You know, so
They
go
left
through
out a
that
lot
prep.
of details.
Yeah, they left out. Well, I was so oblivious to everything. I could have easily just looked the shit up.
Yeah, facts.
I think if I looked it up, honestly, I don't think I went to Ohio State.
Okay.
Because I'd have been like, no way I'm doing
You
that.
didn't really- you
Because
just-
they was like, they sold it, Coach Trusted them sold it by, oh, yeah, you know, Eddie George went here. Oh, Carlos Hyde went here. Oh, Vinny Testaverde went here. Oh, Plaxico Burrs went here. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a cool pit stop. for
Great.
me.
Yeah.
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 Burgers.
Sold you
Trick
well.
me. Trick me. Right. So get there. They, you know, we got to change into our uniforms. And needless to say, 30 minutes later, I'm that fucking lame walking around my shirt tucked in my shorts. I'm just like, fuck, life coming at you fast, huh?
No shit.
I was like,
I wish you
Yeah.
had some pictures of that.
no, you know what's funny? So my son's mom was explaining to him that I went to military school.
Yeah.
And he did not believe her.
Yeah.
So he like, no, Dad went to Ohio State. You're a liar.
Yeah.
He just went to Ohio State. So I had to find this on the internet.
Damn. I don't think a lot of people know this.
That's why we got him here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is awesome.
Give him that inside.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all had to wear the hats and all.
Yeah.
Hey, can you text that to
Wow.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
Hey, you see who that is?
We can use that for the...
Pull that shit up, Jamie.
Who's that?
Mike.
Mike Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Thomas was my roommate.
Guys,
Yeah, so I
So
texted
you're
you.
on a...
So it was like a whole plan. Like, trust.
I guess it was to separate. So Mike graduated high school like at 15 years old. And, you know, he's from Cali. His dad didn't want to send him all across the country as a 15-year-old. So I think that's what his plan was. Mine was separate from Broxton. Everybody go there for different reasons. We had some guys on our team was there to take the ACT again. Some guys was for the clearinghouse again and all this other stuff. So it's all different reasons why guys go there.
Sound like good strategy Coach Tress had going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I was bummed out, man, that first couple of days, man, because I'm like, you know, it's no cell phones. You know,
No cell phones at all.
no cell phones.
Like
at
y'all
all.
ain't have a moment like, okay, y'all can
no
use
cell
y'all
phones.
phones.
No cell phones.
Like no, like Sunday to Sunday, like
Just trying to get
You
it
had to
straight.
go-
Just
you
trying
had
to
to-
get it straight real quick.
You had to go buy a phone card to use the pay phones on campus, and only like 3 of them worked.
All right, so no girls,
No girls.
no phone.
No phones, no TV, no internet.
Where's the school at?
Fork Union, Virginia.
There it is.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So we started to get slick with things and stuff. I mean, and if you got caught breaking a rule, you had this thing called ED. Like you had to march. You got merits. I think merits or whatever, like punishment things. You got a certain amount, you get kicked out of school. So I think every merit was like 30 minutes of marching. So you got caught with a phone. That's like 50 merits.
What?
Yeah. So you don't have that much free time in the day anyway. Outside of school, outside of practice, you have.
yeah.
And, other
I was
little
gonna say,
things like that.
give us like your schedule for a day.
So this is how it works. So it was super funny because Mike, you know, it was his first stop from California, and you know the time difference, right?
Yeah.
So our wake up call is 6 a.m.
Ooh,
Well, that's 3 o'clock.
That's 3 o'clock his time. Yeah,
It's 3 a.m. now. So you know they. The trumpet like wake the whole campus up, and you got like 20 minutes to get up, dress, and you got to clean your room, make up your bed. You know, no TVs on and nothing like that. And then you got to get out in formation in the whole school, and you march to breakfast. Yeah, you march to breakfast. So the center of the campus and how the barracks was kind of on the outskirts. So you had these people calling these barracks. They line up, and everybody just marched to freaking breakfast. Then you clearly in line, and you sit with your guys, your school, and you know, you have breakfast, and then you can leave. And then say if you're done with breakfast at 7, you got class at 8. Clearly, you got to get to class after that. But when you go back to your barrack, you can't watch TV. TV better not be on, and the door got to be open. You can just sit there and do work or write a letter or something. Right? You can't have the TV on. So go to class, get done with your class. You got about probably like 30 minutes before you got to get to practice. Right? You go get your stuff, go out to practice. After practice, you know, you didn't have to march to lunch, but after practice at night, you got to march to dinner. Everybody line back up, get ready to march to dinner, get done with dinner, and then you had I forgot study time. It was like mandatory, like 2 hours a day. So literally, I'm talking about if you're done with your homework, it doesn't matter. You're sitting at your desk in your barrack, and TV's not on, doors open, and you have I forgot what they're called, like our leader of our group. I forgot what his title was. They're just walking through the barracks, making sure anybody on their phones or playing or snuck a phone and stuff like that.
Damn.
And then after that, you probably got like 40 minutes before you got to go to bed, lights out. Then,
Bro, you had
then
to
you
be
could turn
in
TV on.
shock.
Shell shock is on. I
How long you was there now?
was there for a semester. I thought I was about to kill myself. Yeah, I remember sitting at my desk crying.
Hell, y'all been
I
crying
didn't know
too.
what to do. Right, bro. I'm like, hey, how do I call a family? Write a letter. I said, what? Write a letter. So we writing letters like, you know, we get a letter once a week.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta get stamps and all that stuff, and you write. I remember my first letter I wrote home. I'm crying. I read it like 6
Got
times.
tears on your letter, huh?
I read it like 6 times.
Yeah.
And I was just like, because it was such, like I feel like it was
Big
a punishment.
difference.
Yeah,
It was a-
so different.
Yeah, I'm just like,
And especially coming from inner city, of, Cleveland.
yeah, and not even the structure of it. Yeah, it was super disciplined, things like that. But I'm like, I'm not saying I didn't need discipline, but I'm like, this is a punishment.
Yeah.
Like, this is straight up punishment. I'm just like, none of this stuff is going to help me in life. That's how I viewed it. I'm like, none of this, me getting up early in the morning or marching to lunch or breakfast and all this other stuff, I'm like, this stuff ain't going to help me. Like, I don't, like, as soon as I get done with this place, I'm never going to remember this place again.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if it was me being resistant to it or, like I said, I just really didn't need it. I always been that way. Like, if I didn't find interest in something or if like I just didn't give it my all or just really, it was hard for it to gauge my attention. And I was forced there. And I was just like, you got to be kidding
The
me.
force part's the problem. Some people sign up for that life.
Yeah, some
And you know
people
what
sign
I
up
mean?
for it, which is cool. Because
I wouldn't have personally signed up for it at that time.
yeah, because you got guys that was there in the high school level. Because we mingle with the high school guys, because we had to go to each other's sporting events and stuff like that to sit together. So we mingle with the high school guys, and they were there since like 6th grade. you know. And I'm like, one, your parents were rich. Two, I'm just like, this is all you know. But they did, though. Because one guy was like, I did this route because when I go to VMI and graduate there, I'll be a lieutenant or I'll have a higher up in the military.
Going to West Point. Like
exactly. Guys were going to VMI, West Point, Army, like things like that. So, and they was like, yeah, I want to do this. This is the lifestyle I want. Like, this ain't the shit I want. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
honestly, the discipline of being a college athlete at the high school level is rigorous anyway. So like you'd have been just in that system, that would have been enough discipline probably.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, all this stuff was just so pointless to me, you know, when it came to why we ran things the way we ran it, because I wasn't interested in it. Now, like I said, a guy who wanted to go into the military, wanted to serve for the country, now it was great interest to him because this is going to smooth that path once he's done with college and can walk right into that environment. Because I would imagine for civilians to say, hey, you know what? I don't know what else to do. I'm going to go to the Army. I'm going to go to the Navy. I'm going to serve. I'm going to find purpose. It's a shell shock for them.
For sure.
Right? So it's just that, not as intense, clearly, as the military, because you're dealing with life and death. But I feel like I was dealing with life and death every day. But it was definitely an experience. And I remember on our first leave, because we had to leave for Thanksgiving. And I had a freaking calendar. I was marking off days. I had a freaking calendar. And the first leave was for Thanksgiving, and I would say it was so hard to go back, I almost didn't.
Yeah.
Because we actually got like a week and a half off.
Yeah.
And I almost didn't go back. Like I remember being in the airport like this, man, I don't get on this plane. But going back for Thanksgiving, was the cool thing was about it, we only had 2 weeks left, and then we was on winter break. Yeah. And then I was done after that. So I had 2 weeks left. Then after winter, I was going to Ohio State in January. So go through that stuff, and I remember just right when I got off campus, because I went on leave twice before that bigger break. I went with a guy named Mac Hollins, who's playing with the Miami right now, I think Mac is. No, with the Falcons. Mm-hmm. And Mac was there. Mac is a great success story of Fork Union, though, because he went there to continue to get recruited. And he ended up earning a preferred walk-on. I totally forgot what college Mac went to. And now he's 7 years in the league, though.
Damn.
What position?
Receiver, but he really made his shine off special teams. Bust his butt, tall, good-looking dude, can run, can cut. Never had the best hands, but he's solid dude. Mm-hmm. Like he ain't about to be.
He needed that.
He needed it for another chance of recruiting. Yeah. Everybody there was for different reasons. Prolong your recruiting, ACT, separation, whatever the case may be. So it was a perfect success story for that. And there's a lot more guys like that who benefited from a prep school. Like D Hop went to, Martavis Bryant went to Hargraves, which was our rivals. And I remember watching film on Hargraves when we get ready to play them. And D Hop was a year before me. Bryant was a year before us. He was a beast.
He was dog.
Yeah, he's a dog. Period. He's a dog. Period. But like I said, it definitely was an experience. But I know when I got off campus, I was like, you hear stories about, oh man, I'm scared to keep my kid cooped up all their lives because when they get some freedom, they'll go crazy. That was me. From a month and a half in military school to our first leave, and I went to Rocksville, Virginia with Mac and his family and stuff. My family wasn't going to come down. We couldn't afford a plane ticket to fly me back for 4 days and stuff like that. So I just remember, like, I want to do everything. Come on. Come on. Where the girls? Where's something at? Where's something? It was so funny, like, me and Mac, man. Now, I remember the first thing we did, we went to Chipotle. We freaking get this burrito that's probably like this big and, like, kill that thing. And then we go down to the Maryland where they were The Wire. They were shooting a Wire ad and stuff like that. And I'm like, ain't this tough? Like people get killed on it? He's like, yeah, it's pretty tough. Oh, let's go. Let's go check it out. Yeah. Like, I'm just like all about Eddie and everything. So I was so like ready to get out of that place. But the funniest story I think about the whole Fork Union experience is I was going back on that last leave, coming back from Thanksgiving, my last 2 weeks there. And, you got to report back to campus in uniform. Mm-hmm. That picture I showed is Class A's.
So when you went home, did you have to wear your uniform?
I changed in the airport.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let my family see me that. I changed in the airport.
Because they were going to clown you in the hood.
What? Cop it. Look, cop. So, the funniest thing, though, so we, on away games when we travel, we had to wear those. Yeah. So I remember we had, like, this pit stop at this truck stop or whatever, and I'd go, like, to Dunkin' Donuts or something to get some food. And, I ordered like, probably like $10 worth of stuff. And it came to like freaking like $2. Like, there's something wrong. So I hurry and get it, and I'm walking out. I look at the receipt. It should say police discount. I'm in uniform. It should say police discount. So I'm like, I think I'm a police. I'm like, shit, no.
That's funny.
Just a police discount on the receipt. So, so we had to be in.
So you was
when we
5-0.
traveled. I mean, don't call me 12 for no reason. No. So that was funny. And then, like I said, so I was going back on leave. Well, coming back from leave, going back to Virginia. And I had, I didn't have a shirt tucked in. I had just popped on top of my head. And I'm kind of Russian, but I'm not.
Yeah.
This is when I knew this shit was real. So a guy come up to me, and this guy, he was like, "Hey, come here for a second." I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" He was like, "You go to Fort Union?" He's like, "Where you go?" I'm like, "Fort Union." And he was like, "I'm Captain Major Sergeant something of the something, and you fucking go in there and you fix your Class A right now, or you're gonna hear about something like that." And I'm just like, because it's a disrespect to the country. You ain't in proper uniform,
Right.
So that's when I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. Man, I went into the bathroom so fast and fixed my uniform, and really more so tucked my shirt in and tie my shoes up and stuff. And like, he was waiting on me when I got out too.
Yeah.
So you're third. You got it. And I was just like shook. He's like, "I'm Captain Martin, something faster, or something fleet, something. If you don't go in there and fix your uniform, sir, blah blah." I'm just like, it ain't that serious. I'm thinking to myself, bro, it ain't that motherfucking serious. Costume, bro. Yeah. So going back for my final 2 weeks, football season was over. We just played 10 games. We won them all. I think we lost one, but now it's hard because now I don't have practice. Now I just like really got to fight through this stuff mentally. Mm-hmm. And now because I'm like, okay, fuck, like what am I here for? And so get through those last 2 weeks. It was great. And now we all the night before. I mean, what you gonna do? Like, we going crazy in the Barracks. I got an early flight. I'm not tripping. And then like you got to pack up your room and stuff like that because they know who ain't coming back. I'm like, fuck this room, fuck y'all. Y'all can keep all this shit. So when I came back for the first leave, I had already brought back some clothes with me. That's what I'm wear out of there. Man, I put those clothes on. They're like, "You can't leave campus like that." I'm like, "I ain't coming back." I had like some sweats and something. And I left everything in that room, like because it was all of the stuff we got from there. I'm like, all this stuff. I don't want it. I never wear this stuff again. I never want to hear about Fort Union again. So it was definitely. Man, and then I really enjoyed the guys I was there with. Still talk to a few of those guys. Xavier Quick, Lamar McNeil, Mike Hollins, clearly Mike Thomas. List goes on.
So y'all had some guys there.
Guys. Yeah, we had some guys there. Yeah, Robert Lockhart, who was like one of the top receivers in the country that year. He was there for clearinghouse reasons and things like that. He ended up going to the U or Virginia Tech.
You think you needed that experience, though, looking back?
Needed it. You know what? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Am I thankful for it? In a way, yeah, because I am one of the people that believe that everything happened for a reason.